Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Elevenses Business Show. This is where us ladies take the time out to reflect on the business, on our business, the business world, the technology, finance, and all things business. So today's topic is how to keep your business finance records. What's a fascinating topic, don't you think? Oh my
So
gosh.
excited.
It's so exciting. It's going to be. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. It's not going to be boring because accountants or
Sorry.
accountancy is not boring. Thank you very much. Sorry. Anyway, ladies, please introduce yourself. I'm obviously Mauva. I'm the spokesperson for today. I'm from Malion Accountancy Services. Ladies.
Hi, I'm Maureen Egbe. I'm the digital confidence coach, helping you with your tech systems, keeping you free to do what it is that you love to make money in your business.
Hi everyone, my name is Yejide Adeoye of Logic to Create. I'm a WordPress security specialist, providing WordPress security services, consultations and tools.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, ladies. Just a small disclaimer, this is a brief overview because as everybody knows, tax is a minefield. You can touch on one subject and you can just open a can of baked beans. It's just ridiculous. I say baked beans because, it just flows out and the sauce goes one part and the beans go another part. And you think, which way do you turn? That's how literally tax is. You with me? It's just so broad. Sorry, ladies, but I don't mean to put you off, but I'm just giving you an example. Okay. So basically, when you're in business, you need to produce some kind of tax return. Could be a sole trader tax return, like a self-assessment tax return, or a business tax return, which is for limited companies, or a CIC, which is another type of limited company, or even a charity account, basically. So you need like an income and expenditure basic. But what goes behind that income and expenditure is very important, because this is what obviously calculates how much tax you do or do not pay. So obviously you have to record some kind of, receipt or document to, back up your figures, basically. So for example, for your income, you would either receive the income in your bank, or you may, or you produce an invoice to that person, basically. So that invoice you produce is your business finance records, and you keep it safe. With your expenses, as you know, anything you purchase for your business, I'll come back to that in a second. Obviously, you will keep safe too. So that could be either your wages, who you pay somebody to work for you, a consultant. It could be some kind of equipment you purchase for the business. I'll come back to that in a second. Or some kind of office rent, could be overheads, could be things like that, business expenses. So if I put a question to you, ladies, if I said to you, how do you keep your business finance records? What would you say? Or what do you understand on that phrase? You drink more, you drink. You lubricate your throat. Jess can talk first.
I'll go first. Not as good as I should do. No, hold on, right? I have good systems, I feel. I've got, a system that I use to produce invoices. And, I get paid in it through the bank. So those are the systems for certain things. So the invoices and the payment of the invoices, great. Receipts and anything else that you purchase or whatever, this is the problem that I always find. Like, because, can I claim that cup of hot chocolate? Or can I claim the croissant for the business meeting I'm going to in the morning? Those kind of things are what really get me. And then also all the other stuff, like my insurance, my IT systems, because a lot of it is IT software, right? Yeah, that's cool. That one is calculated. I get a receipt every month when they take the money out, and I put them into the Google Docs real quick. but actually not really quick. I do it nearer the time when I was
I was getting impressed with that as well, you know, honestly, I was.
Let's keep this honest.
Normally the
Let's keep
January
this honest.
of the something. I mean, in my mind, when the receipt comes, it's being put into the folder, but technically I need like one automation service like just last night for me, because I think that would be the last bit. But yeah, the systems are there. Paper receipts are a minefield for me, and they confuse the life out of me. And that's just for one business. So with my creative business, again, that's a whole heap of receipts. I spend a lot more on that because of materials, you know, like adhesives and bonding and findings or whatever. So that one, I have piles and piles and piles of paper. Wow. The other one is just all quite digital, and you know, it kind of, it's meant to get into the folder when it needs to. But this year I'm vowing to do my paperwork soon, although within the next 4 weeks, because I need to know what's going on. For several different reasons, personal reasons and business reasons. I need to know what's happening with the finances, and also in terms of forward planning as well. I need to get that. It just needs to be much better, I feel.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Yej. What?
I echo what Yejide says there as well. I'm terrible with receipts. I am so bad. You know, I get the receipt and yes, I've got a receipt. I'm going to keep it. I push it in my purse, and then I've got other receipts which are not connected, like my shopping in Sainsbury's, Waitrose, whatever store that I'm in, you know, so which aren't business, and they get mixed up with the business, and then I just have a bag of receipts, and then they end up in a plastic bag, not in a folder. And yeah, I know, I know, Mauva. I feel like I'm at church going to confession right now. It's just like, forgive me, Mauva. I don't deal with my receipts correctly. But in terms of, and it is, I acknowledge that we've got systems. I usually put all my information onto the Excel spreadsheet. So I can see what's being spent and what hasn't been said. And the systems are fine. And it's with everything. It's not about the system. It's about the person who inputs the data. So it's about just keeping on top. I strive to have a habit, to create that habit of regular intervals of updating that spreadsheet and keeping things on top. I think maybe it's that whole mindset around money and finances that gets in the way of things as well. You know, I've never ever been one that's confident with figures, and hence why I'd rather have an accountant than me trying to figure everything out myself.
Oh, thanks, ladies. See, what I get from that, I think that, well, from what my mind is telling me, is that you need, how can I put it? Some kind of system, a regular system, where you do upload your documents to Google Drive and you do your spreadsheets. Maybe you should put like a little time in the month in your calendar just to do those little niggly things. I know it's really boring, but as you said, Judge, like, you know, it's very important, you know, for you to understand what your business is doing. And for
right? I think like finances is actually exciting because it's really showing you how well you're doing in your business. It like gives you that kickstart. It gives you that joy when you've made a profit. You know, when you made a loss, it's like, how did this happen? I need to go stronger, harder. It gives you the challenges. It's just the process. Like, I've got Finance Fridays in my calendar every Friday, right?
Do you skip that, Age?
Sorry?
Do you skip that?
Do I keep to it?
Skip it.
Skip.
Yeah, skip it. But what I realized, I'm being realistic. I skip it, right? Because on a Friday, by the time you get to a certain time of the day, like,
you're tired.
But on Mondays now, I'm like, what I've noticed with myself is every Monday I'm checking in, and also what I have with my accounting system that I use, Free Agent. Every Monday they send a Monday motivation email, and it tells you which invoices are outstanding and so on and so forth. Do you see what I mean? I'm sure there's more to it, but because I still need to start inputting more into it in terms of the receipts and stuff, the Monday motivation is I know what's outstanding before I even get that email anyway. But in terms of invoices to getting money in, that's fine. But it's the spending. It's like, oh, I really need to discipline myself on that. And literally this week I was like, well, if I'm always checking in on it every Monday, let me just change that reminder to Monday and actually put some targets in to say this and this is needed. But what I also find is that it's just time consuming, and maybe I need to just get somebody in for an hour to come drop the things in. And I've sorted out all my paper receipts into different wallets for the month for the 2 businesses, and now I'm just looking through any other paperwork to see, and just to see if there's anything I've missed. Then it's checking emails, and with the way it creates, I have a lot of, there's different payment systems, because you get paid through your website, you get paid through commissions that you invoice through PayPal, or you do it through Stripe, or do you see what I mean? So I've got all the folders sorted out because I have to do it every year anyway. But it's just that monthly or weekly input that just needs to be done. That it just needs to be done. That's it.
Yeah. No, and I would add to that the one time that I know that I was on it was when I had to start thinking about how I am with money and how I spend. And that's when every day I was actually in my diary noting all my spends. And that's when I was getting on top of everything, because then I was aware what I was spending, how I was spending, how it affected the business, but how it also affected my lifestyle as well. Spending on things that aren't unnecessary, or actually making sure that I had money aside to get the things that were necessary. So it's, for me, it's almost like it's a daily habit, not only just to be able to manage my accounts, but then also hand in hand manage my finances, as in all in one. So yeah. And then because I was actually going through the receipts, then I was placing it aside and not having to look in various different bags to find out where they were.
And obviously the end game is to pay the right tax, basically, or to pay as little tax as possible. That's the end game. So that's why it's important to keep receipts as well, It's not just keeping paper receipts, it's also, obviously, if it goes for your bank account, that's still good. But yeah. Although I'm up to date with certain things, I'm still slightly old school, where I would still say keep the receipt somewhere, because I don't trust HMRC, because they come investigate you anytime they want.
Yeah.
So with me, it's like prevention, or being in a position where you can produce something to say, yeah, here it is. That's cool.
Have you ever known of anybody?
Not yet.
Have you ever known of anybody that's been researched?
I don't want to right now. No.
Okay, all right. I'm just
not
curious.
Not personally, no. But other people, yes. Not personally, yeah. So
I think that I keep mine for the 6. I've got them.
How long do you keep them for? Yeah, sorry.
6 years.
Ooh.
So I'm always glad at some point it's like, all them 2014 records that I had, delete, get rid, shred. You know what I mean? Because I've kept it for, if you ain't come for me for 6 years, then you ain't come for me. But what I was gonna say is that what I've experienced as well, which kind of has made me realize who I need to work with professionally, i.e. an accountant, is that my first accountants that I had for my virtual assistant business, they were really good. Like, they sorted me out on free agent or whatever. It was licensed. We did everything through that, right? Then I moved to another accountant, and they were like, oh no, we don't use these kind of systems. Oh, da, 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 da. And theirs was very traditional. And why are you paying for this system? Da, da, da. So I think, to be honest, like, that took me out of a very good process and strategy of managing the business and the accounts and stuff like that, because the other accounts just logged in, they'll just do what they need to do, and then we'll get all the records directly from that. And then I came off it, and then I started doing it on Excel, I started doing it in this and that and the other, and it was just messy. And what I realized was, like, this is not pay me. And then I went back onto the free agent system again by myself and was doing it. But there was a disconnect between me using that system to manage it for myself, and then having to work with the accounting system, which wasn't automated and it wasn't electronic. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be moving from them, and bringing myself back to how things were. And it is that thing of not wanting to pay so much tax. Like, when you're not making a profit, it's all good, isn't it? But when you start making profit, that's when you're like, what? So yeah, I'm on that now, because I'm like, okay, I made this amount of profit. That's great. But how come the taxes stung me. So that's why I need to be on point now, because I really need to understand it. And no matter who does it, your accountant, whatever, you need to know yourself. And I think, you know, we've always heard of people, like, especially in America, going to jail for not paying the right taxes. And so I was like, bro, how did this happen? It's because you're not paying attention. You're making money and you're passing it on to somebody else. But it's your business. It's your money. It's your entity. You should know what's being signed off and blah, blah, blah on your behalf and those kind of things. You should be signing it off first and foremost. Not anybody else.
That is one, actually, sorry to interrupt, but that is one of the requirements, like legal requirements, that you do actually sign off and you understand what's going on in your accounts, because inevitably, that's the one. You are responsible for your accounts to submit to HMRC, to submit to Companies House, or to submit to whoever. You're
inevitably.
Yes, that's the one. To do that. Although us accountants are here to help you, but you still are the one to do that. I can't say the word. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's interesting because I remember when I first started out, the advice that I was always given is that when you start making money, you need to get rid of it quickly, you know, spend it in the business so that you don't have to pay so much tax, which for me was kind of confusing, because then it's not the purpose for you to be in so much profit that even when they take the tax, you still got money. You know, so this whole thing of like spend as much as you can in your account so you don't have to pay tax actually just confuses me there.
See, I wouldn't put it like that. I would say, obviously, spend what you need to do in your business. But obviously, as you said, you're there to make a profit and to earn money. You know, so it's just making sure that you are having the right expenses against your income to make sure that you are getting the right profit. Basically.
Yeah. And I don't know, I think for me personally, I think there needs to be a bit more like awareness or something around that. I mean, yeah, free agent, they send a lot of stuff, they have a knowledge base and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I just need someone to talk to me about it, because you know, when you know that you can make a lot of money, but then you know, like, is it all gonna go to the tax man? Like, real talk. I need to
I'm not gonna lie. The more you make, the more you're gonna pay tax.
I get that, and I guess that's where you need to know, like, because obviously, if you get staff and stuff like that, that comes out of it. And why am I struggling to do to work out all these finance anyway? We're gonna pay somebody to do it, then we can just make sure that we are paying the right tax. But do you see what I mean? It's just understanding that.
I was going to say, I can't speak for all accountants, but if I took on a new client and they are using free agent or something I don't even use, I wouldn't say, oh, I'm not going to use that. You know, I'm going to do my way. I wouldn't do that at all. I would have to, you know, obviously talk to the client to make sure that, you know, we are on understanding that this is your system, but we're going to be obviously having a bit of a not control, but, you know, a bit of, you know, input to make sure that what you're doing is right. So basically we'll be overviewing the systems. And if you need training, we'll both be trained together, because it'll be a new system to me. And it'll be, you know, it'll help you as well to make sure that you are recording things correctly. And in the right place.
So tell me something, someone new that comes on board, new entrepreneurs, what advice would you give them in terms of making sure that you've got the money for the tax?
It depends, because if you're like a sole trader or stroke self-assessment person, I would always say put 20% away of what you earn. It may not be enough, it depends on how much you earn. It may not be enough, but at least you have some money tucked away. Or it may be too much, then that means that you've got some money to spend. Hey. But with limited companies, it's a bit of a different ball game, because you need to that's a bit more complex, but I would say do the same, to put 20% away.
Yeah.
Of your income, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the corporation tax at the moment for limited companies is 19% at the moment. I say at the moment because they're meant to be reducing it as the years go on. Because this COVID business now, I don't know what's going to happen. They could be increasing it in future. But yeah, but as I say, like if you're a sole trader, put 20% away of your income.
That's like on a monthly basis. So, or if you get paid on a monthly or
whenever you get paid, whatever
you
invoice you raise or whatever money that comes in, 20%.
Right.
Yeah.
But now, can I just say, like, there's a few syndromes that us accountants don't really like.
A few what?
One syndrome is the shoebox syndrome, which is something like this. Shoebox syndrome. This is what we, sorry, I don't mean to advertise anything, but this is what we get sometimes, you know, very late in the year, full of, okay? So that's one syndrome we don't like, especially if you give it to us on the 31st of January or the 30th of January, you know, at the tax year end. Another syndrome is like keeping your receipts in the car or the purse, because, or anything like that, because the receipts do fade. So I'm coming back to the ones in a second. And the other syndrome is the plastic bag syndrome. That is what we do not like. Take note, please, people. No plastic
What if
bag.
it's a designer bag?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Gosh, man. So as I said,
okay, noted.
Things like that, the receipts will fade, so be careful. But I was going to say that anyway, nowadays, HMRC would like to think things are done digitally. Hence why it's good, yet that you've got free agent, because at least you can, if you're using it correctly, have the app, take a picture of the receipt, then that will be in your accounting system in the cloud, ready to be inspected, there for 6 years. Then you can get rid of that receipt. That means there's no plastic bag syndrome.
Yeah.
Is that the same with scanning?
Yes. See, there's a few ways of getting receipts into your accounting system, which is either the app or emailing. So when you get, obviously you might get an invoice through the email system, which happens nowadays sometimes, you know. You can actually just take that in that email and send it on to the permitted email address, and it will actually go into the accounts.
So if you didn't have like free agent, so a system that doesn't take.
So there's other softwares out there.
Right, other softwares. But if you haven't got the software, could you just scan it and keep it as an email to pass on to the accountant?
Yes, you can. I'm not saying you can't keep physical documents. You can do, but it's best if you just scan it in or picture it in or email it in somewhere in the cloud, so it's there safe.
Okay.
And before when I was saying about keep your business finance records, business, in here it does include personal. I can see Asda.
Can I say that's not mine, by the way?
No.
Just saying.
Disclaimer. Hey. Yeah, she's already said hers is a designer bag anyway, so we know it. It's branded.
Oh, stop it. Oh gosh, yeah, and I don't know what else I can see in here, but yeah, it's what the Carberry.
Carberry, that's the pub where.
I'm not saying you can't have business
meetings,
dinner and business meetings, but most of that will be classed as entertaining. That can be deducted. No, that can be included in your accounts, but it's not tax deductible. That's all it is.
Okay.
That's all it is. But as I said, this is like just an overview. We can't go in and open that can of baked beans because it would take too long to gather up all the beans, you get me, and wipe up all the tomato sauce.
Okay.
So as you say, scan it, picture it, email it somewhere in the cloud. That'd be fantastic. And also, as you said, you keep your records for 6 years at least. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I might keep it for 7 or 8 because I don't know. I'm just like that. I don't know. And obviously, you can use, as you say, spreadsheets to try and, just keep a running total, just for you and your mind. If you don't give it to the accountant of how much you're making and how much you're spending. Yejide has got a good way. Obviously, she's got the software, which is Free Agent, and I said there's other softwares out there. There's QuickBooks. There's other things like things called Receipt Bank and One Tap and Auto Entry. They all do the same thing, and there's many more out there too that does the picture and storing things.
Yeah.
I think and yes, the receipts fade. I make sure I've said everything that I wanted to say. Now, do you both have separate bank accounts for your business?
Yes.
Obviously, limited company, you need to, because that's part of your legal obligations. So, but with self-employed strokes, sole trader, it is best to have a separate bank account, because then that bank, if it's a personal bank account, it becomes a bit like this. And we don't know, we can't see what's personal, what's business. It's just ridiculous, and that's why we charge what we charge sometimes, because we have to pick through. I keep showing this back. I'm so sorry. We have to pick through this.
I know. I know.
Okay. Let me show this. We have to pick through this. So I hope you got something out of this today, ladies. And I hope I've given you some kind of drive, some kind of enthusiasm to start at least to do something regularly. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, because finances do scare a lot of people. I'm not going to lie. It's like sometimes they have a brain blockage. It's not their fault. It's like they want to understand, but they don't understand. But I'm a very patient person. I will sit there with you for 6 hours and explain the same thing 600 times until you get that. I'm sorry, but that's just me, because I need you to understand what you're doing in your business. Okay, I'm looking after your account, say, and you're out there doing your main thing, but you still need to understand what goes into your main thing, because that is still part of your business.
Yeah. And I think it'd be good to kind of know what kind of resources that you provide and you can kind of direct us to, because we've had a conversation. I said I need to do my accounts better. I need to be on top of it. I just need to understand what's going on. And there's certain things I just sometimes can't get my hand around it. It's not, because at the end of the day, we talk about strengths and weaknesses. I feel it's not a weakness, but it's something that if I had more time to deal with, apart from everything else, then I'll be quite strong on it. But I just think, for me, I need more support. And what I found with both of the accountants that I've been with is that when you sign up with them, and it's usually them face to face, and it's all great. You meet them at a networking event or something. It's you and them, right? And then but then when you realize that it's a bigger accountancy firm, then there's 3 or 4 people sending you messages or updates or this and that. There's no one that you can talk to personally. So I feel like, for me, I need to go back to something where I have more of a personalized relationship with my accountant. So I can say, oh, do you know what? I really don't get this. Can I spend like 10 minutes, 15 minutes with you? So on. And also, in terms of your practice, Mauva, like, you provide this personal service, and you have the ambition to grow and stuff like that. How do you think that you can make sure that you manage that kind of expectation or the service that has been provided through you when you start getting more people on board to help you? Because I think, for me, I found that the disconnect from the person who I signed up with and who was the main accountant to the others, it's just kind of just put me off a little bit, to be honest, and made me just feel like, they don't really care about me. They just need to get it done, and I'm just whatever. And I'm actually really struggling. Do you see what I mean? Like, I'm actually because that's why I get it in late, or that's what I've never had a fine, but I do get it in on January the 19th. I think 19th has been the earliest to be. And I'm normally after the 5th of April or 6th of April, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this in July. Then it's October. Then it's like, wait, hold on. You see what I mean?
Time flies.
So that's kind of what I just need and just interested to find out more about.
Well, with my practice, we do packages, which include, depending obviously which package you're on, support calls either monthly or quarterly, because as you say, I do like clients to take an interest, because some of them don't, I'm not gonna lie, take an interest in their accounts. And especially the ones that do take an interest, I think I should have a bit of time set aside for them to make sure they understand what's going on, and if they've got any questions, or like they want to do something in particular and they got questions around, you know, if I did this, what would happen if I did that, you know, that kind of thing. So obviously but I do provide a range of accountancy services, and I'm just about creating a small team. I am the main accountant, so I will be the main point of contact. However, going forward, any new clients, they will be allocated one specific person. So they have a one-to-one, as you say, one-to-one relationship. Obviously, I will still have obviously the overview and the final word, that kind of thing. And if I need to get involved, obviously I would. But yes, there will be more of a personalized service. I have heard stories about people and other accountancy firms where they're like, is it called gravy trains? I don't know, but they just come in and they just chug along, and then they just do their stuff, and then they chug it out at the other year end without even any contact whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even the ones that don't have no interest, I need to touch base with them at least once a year, talk to them or see them. You know, I know things have gone online. Even before COVID, things were going online. Because some systems we have is where we might send you a tax return to e-sign. Instead of like before, meeting up with you and physically signing it, we now e-sign. But that doesn't mean we get rid of the personal touch. The personal touch would always be there. Because otherwise, I don't think that the relationship will be, I don't know, will be fruitful. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like it. Are you with me?
I can vouch that I've experienced your personal touch in terms of making sure that I understand. And I remember one of the little gifts that you gave me was a calendar that you've done. Yeah, and I loved it. Because on this calendar that you had actually put in the dates when money was due, when I had to pay my tax, and it was like that, and Company's House, because I said to him, one of the things that confuses me is that all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's time to pay this, and it's time to pay. Who are these people that I'm paying? Who are you? Did I not pay you the other day? You know, and for me that was like a great thing. So yeah, I've experienced how you make sure that I'm up to date and I'm aware and know when I'm going to be due way ahead of time, not, you know, well, you've only got a week to get all your receipts from all of those plastic bags together. So no, I appreciate, especially when I'm not. The thing about it, there's lots of people who aren't comfortable talking about money. Even though they're in business, they're not comfortable with dealing with finances, or they've had financial problems. So it's best to be able to have somebody that they can relate to and can be honest and frank with, so that they can actually get the best out of their business and make that profit and make that money, and not be fined or coming to you at the last minute to try and rescue them, you know, from you know, financial ruin.
Yeah, definitely. Because some of these, like, it always, because for me, it was just like, oh yeah, I'm always making a loss, don't matter. Then I started making a profit, like, okay, I need to be on top of this. And to be honest, I used to be like calling my account, I'm like, oh yeah, can I come visit and just have a chat face to face? But I just never really felt comfortable. I felt like I was pressuring them, do you see what I mean? And then I stopped doing that. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'll just give it in, whatever. But Yeah, it's definitely. I think the relationship needs to be one where, you know, you both understand. I need to understand how the system works and the systems, and you guys are the ones who have that knowledge and you work within it. And you guys kind of need to understand how our businesses work, and maybe you know, and how we work. Again, like Maureen said, is that some people don't like talking about value. I like make money, but I don't like spending it. So I'm like, wait, hold on. Do you see what I mean? Like, but then if I'm not spending it, then it's all just going to the tax man anyway. So I need to look at what my strategies are in that, and why am I working so hard trying to do 4 different jobs when I could just hire 3 other people and make sure I'm making the money to then cover them, instead of it at the end of the year, oh, it's all going to the tax man. I'm like, oh, damn.
I mean, another reason as well, I believe that the relationship is very important, is that because things change in business.
Yeah.
One another. Look at COVID. I'm sorry, COVID again. Yeah, but you know that's changed a lot of people's businesses. So we need to understand what's changed, so we can read the accounts. We can, you know, help you to, you know, present them to HMRC as best as possible. You know. As well.
I mean, using that as an example of the COVID, where you've got people, businesses looking to get the loans and grants or whatever, and then all of a sudden they're being asked about how their accounts for the last 3 years or so, and they have no idea. You know what I mean? What's been going on in their business for the last 3 years, and it's like that. You know, trying to juggle and realizing that maybe they may not be entitled because they haven't managed to look after their accounts. So
that's a whole heap of work to be trying to work out now, when you've already got a whole new year end that you need to sort out, plus you're trying to find strategies or whatever to maintain resilience and get business in. You don't need that. Like, you need to have all of that kind of thing in order. And I was like, calm. I was like, oh yeah, if I need to go for these things, then my paperwork is sorted out. But then I realized there was an anomaly, and I was, wait, what? 2 years that something hasn't been accounted for. So now I'm going into that, but I'm not getting involved in all of those kind of things anyway. So, you know, I'm just staying very focused on what I need to do to build my business, regardless of these situations. But yes, again, I was going through something, and I was like, hold on. Jesus. Yeah, financial records are so important, like really, really important. And I think it's a good topic, and I think it would be good to hear more from other people of their experiences. And,
definitely, please. Drop your comments in.
Yeah, like what kind of resources and support is needed. Because I think HMRC's website is just whoa. You go on it,
that's like 10 cans of beans. I mean, even the 1,000 cans of beans.
What do you mean? It's the bean factory.
You need some Red Bull and God knows what. Like, you need to be just like, I don't know. Sometimes you need to meditate before you go on it, during, after.
The thing is, like, you click on a link. I said, okay, you click on this link, it will tell me.
Yeah.
You click on another link.
Yeah.
You click on another link.
Round the houses.
And you lost the
houses.
It actually frightens me, because it's like, I'm going to need, because you know what, sometimes they'll tell you, HMRC will tell you, oh, you need to put half an hour aside to go through this. And they're serious. Seriously,
that's like underestimation. Yeah, they underestimate time, man. It's like, they underestimate how much you have to do, and they just like their system doesn't help you. So it's just like, oh gosh, like that could cause you mad anxiety by the time you finish on their website, just for one little thing, you know.
Yeah.
So,
and this is the whole thing, and then this is where fines happen, and this is where at the end of the day you end up paying out more. So again, that's why I appreciate having an accountant to help me understand and go through that minefield, because it is a lot. It's a lot.
Actually, do you know what the fines and penalties has kind of like evolved as well? It's like they put in this thing now where if you do something wrong in your accounts, no matter how minor or if it was like just an honest mistake, they will put a little bit of a percentage and penalty on you. So it will be, I can't remember the exact words, but it's either like, you know, it was a deliberate mistake, or, you know, honest mistake, and it's still like a little percentage you have to pay. It's ridiculous. It's like anything you do, they scrutinize it. You have to make sure it's correct, so it's more pressure. It's just very, very overwhelming. Honestly, it's yeah. I'm sorry to
I think we need to just lift it back up in the sense of that actually we're in this to make a profit.
Yes, and to make some money. That's right.
Making a profit is exciting. It's
of course it is.
Like,
get HMRC, man. Pay them. Yes, we'll pay you, but at the same time, we're making some money.
Yeah,
I get some dough, man.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
When I saw my profit last year's profit, I was like, really? Was that me? Like, I'm like, this is great. Let's keep it moving. I want to like add another 0 to that.
Yeah, man. Yes. And don't forget as well to check your turnover. Don't reach the VAT threshold and don't register for VAT. You get fined again if you don't register in time. Yeah.
Well, I think that's another topic that I would love to look into, because I've had lots of advice of either, even though you don't reach the threshold, still put in for VAT, because then it can still benefit you financially. Very small.
It depends.
Okay. So that's what I mean. That's something to talk about.
A lot of people do run and go and get VAT registered, and it's only a minute you're saving.
Okay.
But anyway, that's another day, another topic. And just to say, guys, once again, like, just drop in the comments box what you've experienced or what you actually do to keep your records. Just any comments would be great. And also, we will be doing another Luddites corner, about accountancy systems. So watch out for that. That's coming soon.
Yes.
So yeah, great. I mean, great chat, girls. I hope I've kind of, like, as I said, encouraged you to do a little bit more. Even a little bit more. Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah.
My 2021 accounts are going to be on point.
Fantastic.
My 1920 accounts are going to be submitted within the next.
With a huge profit.
6 weeks. Oh my God, yeah.
I'm no longer profit.
And a huge tax bill as well, because I spent nothing. Do you know what?
But at least you know early.
How many months? Sorry?
At least you know early.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, true. That's the thing. When you leave it to the last minute, and it's like, oh, you get your bill on the 30th, and you're supposed to pay it on the 31st of January.
Exactly.
Like, oh God.
Exactly.
That's a stress.
Okay, now, thanks, guys. Sorry, more. Sorry, go on.
So yeah, instead of using a plastic bag, I'm going to use a Canva bag, because I want to save the
Thanks, Mo. Always helpful.
No, I think from this conversation, it's just a reminder of that. This is part of your business. It's an essential process that we need to keep on top of for financials. And to finish it off, it's a quote from T. Harv Eker. It's the way you do anything. It's the way you do something. It's the way you do everything. So if you're not managing your finances, then there's something else in your business that you're not managing as well. So yeah, get on top of it.
True words.
Great.
Okay, thanks, girls. Everyone, thanks for joining us on our latest business chat. We'll see you on the next one for our Elevenses.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.